Hey Eagle Nation, my name is Chris. Today's video might be a little bit different than what you're expecting from this channel. Spring 2016 is my last semester playing HvZ here as a student at Georgia Southern. Over the past 5 years, I've gathered a lot of knowledge and experience that I wish to pass on to the younger generation of HvZ players, so this video and a couple others that I'm going to record over the course of this semester are going to hope to accomplish that. Today's video, I'm going to show you how I wrap my socks.
So before I start here, I just wanted to mention that this tutorial will be done on tube socks, specifically Gildan tube socks, but the techniques that are used will apply to any length of sock, any thickness, any size, whatever. I personally like to use tube socks because they roll up to be pretty thick. This is an example of a fully rolled sock here next to the Strife and this 18 round mag for size comparison. And then at the end, I'm also going to wrap this ankle sock just to show you the difference.
The only other thing you'll need for this is your own unique color of duct tape. I personally use yellow and black striped caution tape. And the reason for this is so you can identify your own sock in a pile of many other socks, say at the end of your mission, your survival games, your whatever HvZ event you're attending.
Alright, so here we go. We're going to take your sock and you're going to flatten it out. Now, not all socks are as flat as tube socks right out of the package. Most of the socks you'll find will have some sort of, curve in them like this. You're going to want to take that and just flip it to where it's flat, and then you're going to roll in a way to where this heel area here, the part where the bend happens, is going into the roll. So you'll take the heel part, you'll put it into your chest, and then you will roll away from yourself, and then that way the heel part spreads out over the top as opposed to getting kind of crushed in the middle. And that for me is just a personal preference, but if you see right here you have this awkward like little blob, and that can kind of throw off the balance of your sock a little bit. You take your sock, you're going to start, and just like I said, with the sock flat. I'm going to roll it. I press it up against my chest just to get some purchase, and then try to make it as tight as possible. You can come out like this as well. Do this on occasion. Make it as tight as possible. Your goal is to make a large cylinder. So see, you have the cylinder here, and then you have the part where the toe ends. What I do is then I take that, pinch it right on where that toe ends, and then fold it right across. So that way, when it's taped up both ways, this little flap doesn't escape and be annoying as you're trying to grip your sock to throw it. So from this point, because I only have two hands and I need to rip off some tape, I take the sock and I put it right under my arm and grab the tape and then rip it halfway across, and then I rip it down a full length. And by full length I mean one way around, and I know that because I have gotten to the point where I started because I see where the other half is. And then take that, grab my sock back, make sure that it didn't try to unravel underneath my arm, and then I will put the tape right in the center here and then go around perpendicular to the way that I folded the sock and try to get the flap or the folded part away from the tape as much as possible here while still staying in the center. Sometimes the sock will try to open up, but you don't want to let it, because being as closed as possible means that it'll have the most potential energy as possible, which means it'll be pretty firm. So then you take the other side of the tape, go all the way around again, then you take that and you go right across where those flaps are so they have no way of moving. So you basically make an X out of tape across the sock. You go perpendicular to each other, so that way you have a ball. So I'm going to do it again. So you get your sock flattened out, take it, roll it up really quickly, or as slowly as you want, I suppose, if you're wanting to go that route and get as much tightness as possible. Get your cylinder, take the cylinder, pinch it across where the toe is, make sure it stays into a ball, put it under my arm, grab the tape, rip it in half, oh, the sock tried to unroll itself underneath my arm, take it, put it back the way it was supposed to be, and then use your tape perpendicular at first. And then get the other side and go right the other way across, like so. Alright, so now we have these two. And then finally, like I said at the beginning, I'm going to show you how to do the ankle sock, which is the same technique. So you take it, you flatten it, and you make sure that the ankle part is flat, which might give you trouble at first. And then you fold it over, and then you make your cylinder tube. Sometimes the ends will kind of stick out like this just because the way that the sock is. You can either push them back in or not worry about it. I tend to not worry about it. Fold it over right where the toe is again. Make your ball underneath your arm. Take a length of tape all the way around. Grab the ball back. And then go perpendicular to your fold. So with the ankle socks, I don't usually go both ways just because the sock is so small and I can save a little bit of tape that way. So some real quick benefits of doing your wrapping this way. One, you get a really, really firm sock. I like larger socks because that way I can kind of throw them a bit farther. I used to play baseball, so it kind of works out pretty well for me. Ripping the tape in half instead of going a full wrap of tape around one way allows you to say if you like the colors blue and white at the same time. You can do half blue, half white, and that further increases how unique your sock tape wrapping is, because somebody else might try to use blue, somebody else even might try to use white, and if you have both, you can know that that one specifically is yours. And then finally, you have socks that are, you know, balls, instead of, say, this one, which is a sock that looks like it was rolled into itself and then just taking the tape around. This one here was rolled to the point where I think it was rolled inwards like a hot dog, kind of looks like a hot dog bun, and then just strapped across. You know, different sock rolling methods aren't necessarily, you know, better or worse than, say, this one. This is the one I prefer. I should say that this is not the best method to roll socks. I cannot claim that at all. This is the way that I prefer to do it and that I have found the most effective. If you wanted to take this a step further, you could take Velcro and put it on the flat part of the sock here. You can make yourself like a bandolier made out of cloth, and then put the opposite side of the Velcro on the entire strip of the cloth, and then just paste your socks to yourself, so that way you can grab them. I personally use a bag that I put on the side of my body, and I find that very effective because I can just grab out of it and then have a sock in my other hand and just either underhand it if I really need to, or switch to my other hand very quickly, like in baseball, and then throw that way. But yeah, I definitely recommend some sort of carrying strategy besides just using your pockets, because you don't want to have your pockets be too tight or have something else go wrong to where you can't very easily grab your sock, because then your sock becomes ineffective if you can't get it, if you die with it still in your pocket.
So, I've been Chris. This has been my sock rolling tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.